Hi, this is Cat from Derange, and you're listening to Rhino Radio.
So today, again through the magics of the internet, I have the honor of chatting to Cat of Derange. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. It's just been mad couple of weeks for everyone, really. Yeah, but hanging in there.
Yeah, can you already share something that you're doing to keep yourself busy in these days of lockdown?
Oh, it's pretty much I'm just doing what it's deemed responsible. I just been staying at home. It's really staying at home and in quarantine is really what you may make of it. You can either sit around and just be bored, or you can just now it's pretty much the world is your oyster. You have all the time in the world. So I'm pretty much um I just record demos, just play music, I just play guitar, write a new song, or I just simply cook, or I just draw, or I work out. There's so many things to do. Um, that's pretty much some of the main things that I do in my quarantine time. So.
Do you feel like being a touring band, being cooped up in a van for so long when you're on tour, kind of prepared you for this, made it easier?
Um, well, yes and no. To be fair, I've always been kind of like the lone wolf, really. So for me, like being on my own, it always seems very natural for me. So pretty much when they say, "Oh, you just have to stay home," and if for me it's just very natural. So for me, it's not a huge thing.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you're keeping busy and positive. And for people that are not really familiar with the range, I was wondering, what is sassrock?
Sassrock, it's pretty much it was just a random thing that happened when we were recording the songs. It actually happened when we were recording Forgotten, which is our most recent new single. And we were just recording vocals, and the producer, is Merrick. He's actually the vocalist from Exist Immortal, also a great band. And we finished a take, and he was like, "Oh, that's a lot of sass." And we just started joking with sass rock, and it stuck. So we pretty much decided to, I don't know if like capitalize it, it's like it is a word, but we just decided to go with it, and therefore we just decided to do it as a hashtag, do it as with our merch as well. So, yeah.
Is this something that also differentiates you from other bands on stage?
um well, to be fair, I think we kind of want to like make it um no, I'm not sure. We try to like make our riffs a bit like more taste, have just enjoy the groove as well. So yeah, kind of I think it matches our style, and it gives a bit more of a vibe.
Okay, and let's talk about the upcoming release. We have Census Part 2, an EP that's going to be out May 15th. What can you tell us about the themes of the new EP?
Well, the theme is pretty much is just definitely a bit more personal. I think, like I've always said before, in differentiating from our previous album, The Awakening, the whole Census season, the season was definitely definitely a lot more personal journey. It was more like this is how I feel. I am angry, and I am going to sing about this. So yeah, I guess I'd say it's just definitely a bit more personal, a bit more angry, and definitely a bit more vulnerable as well. And we, in terms of musicianship, we definitely wanted to work around more catchy choruses, a bit more memorable riffs as well, and just really branch out, have a branch out in our versatility as musicians as well. We definitely expanded our horizons in terms of exploring like cinematic music, orchestral arrangements, looking at other other different genres as well, and just make our like very unique sort of take on the range, really.
Can you point out one process or one thing that happened that was either easier or more difficult between the work on Census Part 2 and the previous EP, Census Part 1, and the debut?
And to be fair, like Census 1 and 2 was supposed to be an album, so it was supposed to be an album, but we then just decided to split it in two, because like releasing an album is either it happens or it doesn't. So we release the album. It's a whole thing about a whole thing in that happens in 4 months, and then you just go quiet, and then you just have to keep up the momentum. So dividing the EP in splitting the EP into the album in for 2 EPs will give us a lot more momentum and a lot more opportunity to play around promotion as well, and just keep keep relevant as much as possible. So it's pretty much, I can't really differentiate what's different between Census 1 and Census 2. It was exactly the same vibe of vulnerability and emotion.
And between the EPs, they're actually more like a split album. And the debut, anything that was easier or more challenging?
Well, the debut album, with The Awakening, in comparison to this Census 1 and 2, is it was definitely written in a rush. We just wanted something out there, and we're just running out of time, and also it has to do with us booking the studio and then not being able to cancel it. So it's a lot of like technicalities when it comes to logistics. So it's definitely more written in the rush. So with the new material, we just wanted to take our time and just make it our own. So like in comparison to both pieces of work, I feel like the Census EPs are definitely a lot more what represents Derange, whilst like the new album is definitely, we're very proud of it because it finally launched us to like a more serious market. But it's you can tell that there's a lot more like inspirations of other bands, and you can like kind of relate our sound to other bands. Well, I feel like the Census EPs are definitely more a Deranged sound.
And with Census Part 2 being released in May 15th, as we said, there's a rumor online talking about how you made the content of Census even more personal, and I would like for you to either confront or accept it. So the rumor says that there's going to be a Dragon Ball Z theme song. Is that actually happening in Census Part 2?
I don't know. Like, it would be cool, but no.
Not sharing that addiction of Dragon Ball Z. I heard that the band is really into that, and you're not going to contribute that to the album. That's not happening.
Well, it definitely will be very cool. I think definitely not Dragon Ball Z. I think we're definitely inspired by a lot of like anime and a lot of fiction and like kind of like the superhero style, like Marvel, the Marvel theme, and styles like Blade Runner as well. So it's definitely, we were really inspired by kind of like that sci-fi sort of vibe. We don't remember about being about anything Dragon Ball related, but you never know.
Okay, just a vicious rumor, but at least we got something out of it. Maybe it's going to contribute to future videos.
It could be. I mean, I grew up watching Dragon Ball, so who knows?
Well, I want to take you to a more serious side. Since you've been touring a lot, you've been either on the stage side of enjoying music or from the crowd. I was wondering if you would like to share one thing that, as a musician or as a fan, you would like to change in the music industry right now.
I definitely, if it was up to me, we would definitely go back to it's advantage and disadvantage, because nowadays, like beforehand, when it was back in the very old days, it was a matter of you playing in the band and playing a very simple gig. It might not be a lot of people around. Labels would see your potential, and all of a sudden you were signed, and your career was launched from there. And the music industry had a lot of money then, so there's a lot of more. The advances were bigger, there was more money, bands would get paid more, and they would live like kind of like Motley Crue, so sort of like 80s style, sort of a lavish life. And the music industry was definitely more reliable when it came to the live industry and physical copies as well. Like, in order for you to listen to music, you would either have to listen to radio, or you had to buy music. You have to buy the CD or vinyl yourself. But now with the increase of streaming and Spotify, and when like the MP3 started, nowadays, even though like with the increase of streaming, it definitely gave a chance for indie artists to put out their music without needing a label. I mean, that it opened a path to indie artists to promote themselves without the help of any label. So now labels they seem a bit more necessary, unless of course there's the big labels who are offering a huge contract towards you. But I feel like nowadays the industry is very controlled by numbers and statistics, and I feel that sometimes it just it feels like it becomes part of an artist's self-worth, if you know what I mean. It means like you can have like great music, but if your numbers and statistics are lower than expected, then you're not taken as seriously, and I feel like the industry doesn't take as much, doesn't take a chance. It doesn't take as many risks, because it feels like it's all based around money. So I feel like if it was me, I would definitely erase things like Spotify or any streaming platforms, to an extent, of course, because I think they're still necessary, especially for independent artists. Because like I said, nowadays you can stay in your room and make an album of your own, and you don't have to go to studios to record it. But I feel like streaming platforms, like the algorithm is completely fucked at the moment. It feels like it's you either know it's who you know. It's either you either get into playlists or you don't. If you don't get into playlists, you get lost. You get lost in the pile of bands and artists out there. So yeah, I'll definitely erase like the streaming platforms and focus more on the quality of the artists and bands themselves. And I will definitely ask labels to take more risks. It just feels like now, like artists that we see being launched into a bigger success stage all sound the same. And I feel like the music industry needs to take more risk on new bands and artists, not because of their numbers, but because of the quality of the music.
Well, hopefully somebody's listening out there and something might change in the future. And I would like to ask you another serious question. If I'm mistaken, you are Portuguese originally.
Yeah.
So before everything changed over the last couple of weeks, 2020 was supposed to be the peak of Brexit, and we heard a lot of bands talking about how it affects their touring, how less bands can come to the UK, how less bands can get out of the UK. Does it affect you as a non-British musician living in the UK? Do you feel like you're more welcome, less welcome? Anything changes in your perception of yourself in the UK?
Well, at the moment, everything is just wide open. No one knows what's going to happen. I've been living here a long time, so it's pretty much I have the residence already. So pretty much I'm okay, but at the moment no one knows what's going to happen. So at the moment I can't really say whether I feel welcome or not. But now with everything that's going on, like, will it happen? Will it go on as planned? We have no idea. So it's just wish I had an answer for that, but at the moment we don't know.
Thank you for sharing that. And before we say goodbye, we've mentioned already that Census Part 2 is going to be out May 15th, another short collection of tracks being added to Census Part 1. Is there anything else you would like to add to fans and listeners out there before we say goodbye?
Don't forget to pre-order Census Part 2. It comes out on May 15th. And make sure you save our brand new single, Forgotten, to, like I said, to your Spotify playlists and keep on streaming. Thank you, everyone who has supporting us or has been supporting us so far. It means the world to us. And stay tuned for more exciting news.
Cat of Derange, thank you very much for sharing and opening up.
No worries. Thank you so much.